everybody, and welcome back. Thanks for spending a little time with us on this Tuesday, where we are once again for the second day in a row talking about another winter weather mess that has us in its crosshairs. Some freezing rain, some freezing drizzle, a little light snow possible, some very light precipitation, just in a variety of forms during the course of the overnight and your early morning hours tomorrow, has us in the middle of a winter weather advisory, a weather disturbance bringing some light precipitation back into, and most specifically, southeastern Kentucky and the viewing area. We're going to be the ones who will see most of the action. It's not going to be a great deal of winter weather action, but as we saw last night, it doesn't take a whole lot to make a big mess of things. So more in your forecast in just a few moments. The good news is that there is still some good news in your forecast. In fact, the light at the end of the tunnel comes in the form of a whole lot of sunshine, clear, calm, cold days for a little while, but a nice run at the 50s just in time for your weekend. We'll take a look at the animal itself and talk about the charges levied against the Sagersville man last Friday evening, with a follow-up to come as we'll talk with the care providers for the dog and some other individuals on tomorrow's program. We've got that and some highlights from the Montgomery County Lady Hornet and Johnson Central Lady Eagle matchup, and we'll take a look at where everybody is tonight and how the schedule has changed in lieu of a couple of snow days, or a snow day today. Getting caught up on high school basketball, which is approaching the midway mark, and a whole lot of other news. Before that, I do have this from the Attorney General's office. Attorney General Jack Conway and his Office of Special Prosecutors today have officially announced the sentencing of a Harlan County man and woman charged with murder and robbery. This is in addition to the guilty plea and sentencing of a second woman who was also charged in the case. This goes back to December the 2nd of 2014. 38-year-old Timothy Turner pleaded guilty in Harlan Circuit Court just last month on charges of murder, second-degree robbery, possession of a forged instrument, theft by unlawful taking over $500, as well as being a persistent felony offender. Turner's co-defendant in the case, 35-year-old Rachel A. Osborne, pleaded guilty on June the 6th of 2013 to charges of murder and first-degree robbery. On January the 9th, this year, a few days ago, Turner's 58-year-old mother, Nancy Turner, pleaded guilty to first-degree official misconduct in the case. In May of 2011, Turner and Osborne robbed 58-year-old Steve Gibson inside his Harlan County home. During the robbery, they gagged him, restrained him with duct tape. While Turner and Osborne were stealing items from the home, Gibson suffocated and died. Police found his body inside his home on June the 2nd while performing a welfare check. Turner and Osborne were subsequently arrested after cashing one of his checks at a local bank. That same day, Nancy Turner, in her role as a notary public, fraudulently notarized a car title for her son. Pursuant to the plea agreements on January the 9th, Timothy Turner received 40 years in prison and won't be eligible for parole for at least 18 years. Osborne received 20 years behind bars for her involvement in the case and has at least 17 years to spend before being eligible for parole. And Nancy Turner received a 12-month probated sentence and can no longer serve as a notary public as a result. My computer tells me the footage for the arrest of a Montgomery County man on animal cruelty charges will be ready to air in just a moment. So let me pause briefly. A few words from a few of our sponsors. I'll have that next. A concerned citizen's call to 911 this past Friday evening ultimately resulted in the arrest of a Sagersville man on charges of animal cruelty and disorderly conduct after the arrival of police. Sagersville City Police Officer Jeremiah Watson, who was the arresting officer. An investigation resulted in the arrest of Luther W. Keaton Jr. and the seizure of his animal. The call came into Montgomery County 911 around 6 o'clock Friday evening. There was a concerned citizen who reportedly called to report a dog on a chain in poor weather conditions without any shelter, food, or water apparent. Now, I've spoken to that caller personally, and that individual has chosen to remain anonymous at this time. We, however, did have a long and lengthy conversation about the circumstances. The caller tells me that upon seeing the situation to which the caller was alerted to, that they called 911. The Kentucky State Police was called. They didn't have anyone available at that particular moment. They also called the county for the dog catcher. However, there is no dog catcher officially for McGoffin County. That refers to the county workers who were not rehired, the situation ongoing, and a separate story altogether. But Officer Jeremy Watson did come out at 6 o'clock for the city of Sagersville. He was notified and arrived on the scene moments later. The citation that I have in front of me indicates that he arrived on the scene and met the caller who was parked across the road. The caller also informed him that in addition to the conditions that the dog was living in at the time, that this man, Luther Keaton, also had stepped out of the residence while the caller was parked across the road and threw a pan of water onto the dog. Temperatures at the time of his arrest citation were 7 degrees outside. Officer Watson tells me that he did find the dog sitting in the same position where there was water apparently had been thrown onto and around the animal, and that upon arriving on scene, Luther Keaton Jr. came out of the residence and walked toward the dog, pulled on its chain, refusing to have the dog taken, and then started to use profanity and other threats, if you will, towards the officer. At that time, he was arrested for disorderly conduct in the second degree and cruelty to animals, also in the second degree. These are a couple of the least graphic images that we received of the animal after it was taken to the Sagersville Fire Department before being transferred to the West Liberty Veterinary Clinic. From what I understand, Watson says that once there, veterinarian Ralph Adams examined the animal. There was spray paint found on the animal, which Adams says is commonly used to cover up numbers that are put on dogs when they are used as fighting animals. The dog was also diagnosed with heartworms, the mange, and frostbite. An infected laceration was also treated on its head area. The dog was a pit bull, but said to have been one of the gentlest or more gentle animals that the veterinarian and the caller and or officer had been around, including their own house pets. Watson also told me that the charges at this time filed against Keaton are misdemeanor. However, he is meeting with the county attorney and then waiting on an update or official report from the veterinarian's office in regards to the dog's condition. Watson was off duty today. We'll be speaking to him a little later, doing a follow-up, maybe even tomorrow. I also spoke with Ralph Adams, who was the veterinarian who oversaw care of the animal on Friday evening. Now, he told me unofficially in another phone call that the animal indeed was in need of medical treatment. It wasn't the very worst case of animal neglect he had seen, but it was unnerving nonetheless. Now, there's also been some other developments, we believe, and we'll find out tomorrow what the future holds for the animal and the accused. When we come back after the community calendar, we'll have other headlines, including, well, some good news from Facebook and some highlights. Basketball, that is, for Lady Hornets and Lady Eagles. For now, here's what's happening on your Farm Bureau-sponsored community calendar. Starting off with some birthday wishes tonight. This one says, please wish a very happy 31st birthday wish to Paul Edward Minix Jr. from his mom and dad, Brother Trent. Happy birthday to you, Paul. Paul Edward Minix Jr., 31 today. A reminder that there are a few days left to get tickets for a chance to win tickets, specifically. That's right, they're holding a fundraiser raffling off 4 tickets for the UK-Georgia game February the 3rd. It's 2 upper and 2 lower arena tickets, all for the same game. Compliments of C&R Ashland Office Supply. McGoffin County High School dance team members are the ones to see to buy a few chances to win some really cool tickets. Watch UK whip up on Georgia February the 3rd. Tomorrow is the next McGoffin County Community Blood Drive. It starts at 12:30 tomorrow, goes to 5. This location is different from where it has been in the past. It says they'll be behind the Sagersville subway there at the new medical building. That is tomorrow, 12:30 till 5 at the McGoffin Medical Plaza. Kentucky Blood Center will be there, and they hope that you are as well to donate and hopefully save a life. North McGoffin Elementary tells me they've got a site-based council meeting set for tomorrow, 4 p.m. This is a regular session meeting. Everyone is invited and welcome to attend the meeting. That's tomorrow at 4 for North McGoffin's site-based council. And I got some more details on this one. The Sagersville Free Will Baptist Church is hosting A fundraising dinner this Friday, 10:30 till 2. Soup, beans, potatoes, sauerkraut, wieners, cornbread, and a dessert, just $7. You can eat at the church on Route 40, or you can carry out, or if you want it delivered, call Lola at 349-5740 up until Friday, and then on Friday, call the church at 349-5524. Big meal, cheap price, great fundraiser. Eat with Sayersville Free Will Baptist Church this Friday, 10:30 till 2. And lastly, there's going to be an Alzheimer's seminar on Thursday the 22nd. It's going to be at Hazard at the UK Center for Excellence in Rural Health. You would need to register, though, by this Friday if you would like to attend. This is free to everyone. And if you would like to be there, you can call 859-323-1331 to register. Or you can also go to sarah.tarrant@uky.edu to register as well. And you can have your announcement on our program. All you have to do is send it to us any way you'd like. It's always free and always the best way to let everyone know what you've got planned. And in funeral service announcements for this Tuesday, the 13th, 72-year-old John Roy Wireman of Gunlock has passed away. He passed away on yesterday's date. I'm told that arrangements are still incomplete at this time, but to be announced soon by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. Once again, the passing of 72-year-old John Roy Wireman of Gunlock. With more than 725 children rescued as a direct result of Amber Alerts since the program was first launched back in 1996. And with the millions upon millions upon millions of people on Facebook, it only made sense for a partnership between Facebook itself and the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And that's what they've announced today. And I think it's a great thing. The new initiative, they say, will deliver Amber Alerts to people's news feeds in targeted search areas after a child has been abducted and the National Center has issued an alert. These alerts, which include photographs and other details about the missing child, are then shown on mobile and desktop platforms. You can share the alert with friends and share the link directly to the National Center's Missing Child poster, which always has the most up-to-date information about the case. For years, people have used Facebook, they say, to post news articles about missing children and Amber Alerts. In several cases, someone saw that post or photograph in their news feed, and then that child was safely returned to its family. Just last year, an 11-year-old girl was safely recovered after a motel owner recognized her from an Amber Alert that a friend had posted on their Facebook page. The woman called the police. The child was found unharmed, and they say it's just amazing how word-of-mouth efforts like that have inspired them to develop a more systematic way to help find missing kids on Facebook. They say they know the chances of finding a missing child increase when more people are on the lookout, especially in those first few critical moments. And their goal is to help get those alerts out quickly to the people who are in the best position to help, and that's those in the area. So when a local or state police entity determines that a case qualifies for an Amber Alert, the alert is issued by the National Law Enforcement Agency. It determines the range of the target area for each alert. The number of alerts people will see depends on how many alerts are issued in their area. Some people may see a few each year. Some may see none at all. I'm told the alerts will appear in the news feed but won't trigger any notifications to your individual phone. They didn't give a time frame on when this will be online, but we're anxiously awaiting and have high hopes that indeed it will save some young people's lives. For some highlights and updates, we'll begin with the aforementioned highlights from the matchup between our own Lady Hornets and Lady Eagles of Johnson Central. Central traveled to McGoffin County for a matchup that they may have expected to win. Here we are, 5 minutes to go in the second quarter, and down 3. McGoffin County's Jazzy Howard sets up at half court. She'll put a move on Johnson Central's McKaylin Pierce, while Allie O'Hare sets a screen. Jazzy goes under for 2 off the glass. And the next trip down the court, McGoffin County's Alexis Montgomery comes up with the rebound, drives, and gives a quick pass to Kennedy Stacy. She pushes it back out to Leslie Howard. She makes her way in for the jumper, no foul, but O'Hare saves the play and pushes it back to Howard for a McGoffin lead by 1. Here things are all tied up when Central's Jayla Spurlock muscles away the rebound and then turns it over Jazzy Howard comes up with the ball this time. And a perfect pitch to Leslie Howard for the right-hander and the foul. And a big rebound off the iron by O'Hare. She sees Howard. Howard makes her way home for a short jumper. And all this is unedited. We're going to see about 3 plays here in a row. All one clip. The Lady Eagles inbound. They bring it down. Bailey Daniel goes in. She misses. Jazzy Howard's there to pick it up. She pushes out in the head, and makes the layup look ever so easy. Again, Central's got the ball inbounds. Takes only seconds to set up, and then see Pierce right where she wants to be for a perfect 3. Magafa County led at the half, 29-23. Your final score, 75-58. That game Friday night put the Lady Hornets at even on the season, 6-6 in district play. 1 win, 2 losses. That also forwarded the Lady Hornets on to hosting Powell County on Saturday night. And they did, and they came up short by 5. Their next contest put them short to Powell County. 55-60 was your final score. That puts them off the even mark now at 6 wins and 7 losses. Things didn't change in district play 1 and 2. That also does put them back on the road tomorrow night at Knott Central. And after that loss to the Lady Hornets, the Lady Eagles of Johnson Central went on to pick up a win over Prestonsburg, 80-59, the final score. The Lady Eagles still behind the 500 mark, 6 wins, 9 losses on the season. They've got 2 district games under their belt, and they've tied up 1-1. They're hosting Paintsville this Friday night. Just to get you caught up on the boys from Central, their last game, Belfry, 88-65. They've been off for a few days since this past Thursday. They're at Paintsville tonight, 7:30 tip-off time. The boys from Johnson Central at 11-7 so far. They've also won 7 in a row. As for the Magafa County Hornets, well, a loss to Powell County by 5, 54-59. That was on Saturday night. They're at South Floyd tonight, another road game. They're on the road all the way through January the 27th. The boys right now of Magafa at 7-8 on the season, 1-1 in district play at South Floyd tonight. Turning to Paintsville, as I already mentioned, they're hosting Central tonight at 7:30. This comes after a loss to Pikeville, 44-53, your final score in the 15th region, all a classic back on the 6th. They've had a few days to rest and recuperate. They're at 9-6 on the season. They're up 3 over the halfway mark. They are winless in district play at 0-3. As for the Lady Tigers of Paintsville, a loss to East Ridge by 7, 42-49. That was in the 15th region, all a classic. They're up 3 on the season, 8-5 their season record right now. They're also undefeated at 2-0 in district play. They're hosting Russell County tomorrow night. That is the Lady Tigers of Paintsville. And that leaves the Morgan County Cougars and Lady Cougars tonight in our 4-minute wrap-up. That is January the 16th, where the Cougars, and that is this Friday night. They'll be their next game. They'll be at East Carter. This comes after a loss to Elliott County, a big one, 38-60. The boys are at 9-3. Morgan County had with only 3 losses thus far in the season, 1-2 in district play. And once again, the boys from Morgan County and Coach Matthew Perry, with only 3 losses, are traveling at East Carter this Friday. It's pretty much a reversal of things, though, for the Lady Cougars. The boys have 3 losses. The Lady Cougars have just a couple of wins under their belt, 2-12 on the season. Their last game, a loss to Estill County, 37-52, and they're at West Carter tonight, hoping to pick up another win. Tip-off set for 7:30. And while there's absolutely zero moisture on the radar as of right now, we're expected to see a low of 26 degrees tonight, a winter weather advisory in effect from 7 tonight until tomorrow. That is right, 7 this evening until noon tomorrow. We do have a winter weather advisory due to a rather weak disturbance, if you will, by some light precipitation. Could bring us a little bit of everything. A 20% chance of some snow and freezing rain before 4 a.m., then a slight chance of some freezing rain thereafter, and freezing freezing drizzle to wrap it all up. Not a whole lot of precipitation, but it doesn't take a whole lot to make a mess of things. Keep your eye on weather conditions, especially for your morning commute. Tomorrow we will see only 34 degrees, recovering to that by mid to probably late afternoon hours. Cloudy skies, that freezing drizzle should wrap up and be out here by hopefully around 9 o'clock in the morning, so could be another snow day in the midst for a lot of students tomorrow. Thursday, this is the start of the change and turnaround and reversal from all the winter weather we've seen. Not that it's been that terrible. We've had some cold temperatures, but really, all in all, we've fared pretty well, you have to admit. Nevertheless, by Thursday, things are going to get close to 40 and become mostly sunny. It's going to be clear and calm for a few days on end, and temperatures are going to be on the climb. Thursday, we're pushing 39 to 40 degrees. Friday, 41, maybe even 42. More sunshine, more clear skies. Temperature's still somewhat cold and close to average. 28 degrees for nighttime lows, so says your Licking Valley RECC forecast. And here is the, well, crowning achievement in our weather forecast. Not that I had anything to do with it. And that comes in the form of Saturday's forecast. Sunny and 54 degrees. Nighttime lows above freezing, well above average. Only a few clouds above late Saturday night. And Sunday, not quite as warm as what I'd hoped for. Our next system is going to start to make temperatures a little lower by Sunday, but while Saturday indeed is the pinnacle of your forecast at 54 and sunny, Sunday's not too bad at 47 and partly sunny. We'll see some clouds move in on Sunday night. No precipitation, but we'll see temperatures hang in the mid and upper 40s thereafter for a few days on end. So Sunday is not bad at all. Certainly an improvement. It's not quite as nice as what Saturday is shaping up to be. That's my time for now. Thank you for being a part of it. More news when I see you back here tomorrow night for another edition of Your News Today. Thanks for watching.